Give you guys a very quick crash course on how I track my cycle. Y'all know I have to say this, but I'm not a doctor. So take what I say with a literal grain of salt. But I've been tracking my cycle for over 2.5 years. I'm going on 3 years of being off of hormonal birth control. I've lived with my boyfriend for over 2 years and we have never once had a pregnancy scare. I've been using Natural Cycles to track my cycle for a little over 2 years. I used the Flow app at first and that was so wildly inaccurate. It actually freaks me the fuck out. Like, did not work for me. So then I switched to Natural Cycles, and when I tell you that this fucking app has changed my life forever. Like, oh my God. But anyways, Natural Cycles is the first FDA cleared birth control app in the United States. It's also CE marked in Europe. It is 93% effective with typical use, which by the way, birth control pills are also 93% effective with typical use. And it is 98% effective with perfect use. So with tracking, you wake up every single morning and you take your BBT, which is your basal body temperature. That's different than your regular temperature because it measures 2 decimal points to the right. So instead of your temp being like 98.6, your BBT would be like 98.62. The way you can measure that is through a basal thermometer, which Natural Cycles has. I used that for a really long time, but they did partner with Oura almost like a year ago, I think. And when I tell you guys, it's so worth it. You guys ask me all the time. Oura Ring is so worth it. You don't have to wear it 24/7. You just have to wear it to bed. It basically automatically uploads your temperature every single morning. So it saves you having to like measure your temperature physically yourself. It's awesome. You upload that temperature to the app every single morning before you eat or drink anything. Before you stand up, you need to measure right when you wake up. Then you put that into the app. And once you put that into the app, that with a bunch of other fertility indicators will give you a daily fertility status. And your daily fertility status is going to look like a red day or a green day. Red day means that you are more fertile, and if you are to do any funny business, to either abstain and steer clear or use protection, which by the way, there's a lot of other fun things that you can do than doing the full deed, okay? A green day means that you're not fertile and you're good to go. You can run the streets naked for all I care. No, you do not have to use protection. And yes, they can, yeah, you're fine. Believe me. Believe me. And you also test for ovulation. It is not required, but I highly, highly, highly suggest that you test for ovulation, which you do that through LH strips. You can order them like on Amazon, or you can order them off the Natural Cycles app. Testing for ovulation is really easy. Natural Cycles will let you know in the app, like, hey, your predicted ovulation is coming soon. Take your LH strips. If you're trying to prevent pregnancy and even plan it, but definitely trying to prevent it, tracking your ovulation is literally so key. Again, it's a lot easier than it sounds. In the app too, when you put in your temperature, there's a million other things you can fill out. You can fill out your thoughts, feelings, emotion, your discharge, aka your cervical mucus, which did you know that your cervical mucus and your discharge changes at different times of the month? Like when it's more sticky, when it's more liquidy, like it means something. You can also put in when you had funny business, if you use protection, if you withdrew. There's also like an educational part of the app where you can click on that and there's a bunch of articles and blog posts and just so much education. I could rant on about this all day, but let me know if you guys have any questions or if that makes sense.